love your life. Another life has come for you to tell the truth now. If did you join in to say? Alright, people, just a little theme song that I decided to come up with for Tell the Truth Tuesday. And last time I was on here with you guys, I told about the beginning of my life, and I did that because I wanted to.
Miss Mama, she hit me. No, I didn't.
Now my kids are telling the truth.
She hit me first. Mom.
Here's a lesson for my children. Hold on there while I give it to them. You don't hit him. You don't hit her. It's bedtime and you need to go.
Yes, ma'am.
Good night, son. Look at me. If you go throughout your life lying about something that you did that you know you shouldn't have done, son, if you hit her, you know you weren't even supposed to be in her room. Tell the truth, okay? Good night.
Mom, he told Maya that he's going
Good night. Good night. Good night. Alright, people, back to Tell the Truth Tuesday. We've had them to tell the truth, so now we're going to do some more truth. Anyway, last time I did a Tell the Truth Tuesday video, I decided to tell about my beginning. And in my beginning was not anywhere near where a child should have been. But at any rate, we're past that. This week, we're going on to the fact that in some previous videos I've done, I stated some things that I felt like was the best thing for an American person to do. And that was check on your loved ones, and if there aren't your loved one, there's someone's loved one that may happen to know you, so they're your loved one too. At any rate, the reason why I feel compelled to do my video this evening on that subject, which would be I told you so. And I say I told you so because I said when you don't check on your neighbors, all kinds of things begin to happen. Now we have the outbreak of police officers killing our children and killing basically black people, from what I'm seeing. Don't get me wrong, there have been other races that have been targeted as well, but from what I'm seeing right now, the little bit of news that I have watched, it's been black people. And the reason why I said a little bit of news that I have watched is because I prefer not to even watch it. If it happens, God, I pray that you be with them, every last one of them, but I can't, I just can't. The other part of it is the kids. You know, I am a mother who has lost a child, and there's nothing about that that's easy, fun, none of it. It's constant, you know, going through yourself that you think, do I do enough for my child? Did I, you know, does the child know that I even love them? You know, stuff like that. Now, there is another parent or parents who was going through the same hill that I've been going through for the last 2 years. When I say I told you so, had we kept ourselves spotless and things to that such like God had required of us to do, we would have known that at some particular point this right here was getting ready to happen. How we would have known that is because we would have had our relatives together to a point of not fighting each other. And that's the one thing which I'm glad my kids did come in now, makes this video even much more better. When you have siblings or relatives, friends or whatever fighting each other, what you then give other people the illusion of is it's okay for them to come in and do the same thing to you. Now, at the end of the day, when you two fight each other, you're going to make up. But when those other people come in to fight you, to come in and fight you, they're not going to care. You're going to have children being shot and people being choked at and things of that such because they won't care. Now, had we as black people not been fighting amongst each other, these things would not be so horrendous at this particular point. Yeah, you know, we knew the Ku Klux Klan were not gone, but they were in a place where they knew they could not come back out without getting themselves in some type of trouble with losing their lives. Now they've gotten so organized and so built up to a point of that they know we're fighting each other, so that we're not going to be able to do anything to them. How can we do anything to them if we're doing bad things to ourselves? Okay? No one at that particular time when they were fighting each other, they was out in the street fighting over this man who didn't want them. In the first place, he just wanted what he got out of them, and he was gone. When you're doing all this fighting and dragging each other down the street and through the mud and on Facebook talking bad about each other and all this and that, what you're giving the next person the belief is, or the next woman that sees you fighting over this man, oh, he must be something. I need to get in on that. So his reputation as being this some type of stud muffin is now being spread through that these women want him. So of course, he's cocky enough. He doesn't need you. So, because he has other women who's looking after him. They're checking for him. So, and because you decided to go out in the streets fighting over this dude, you have built that credibility up. You have helped him to get himself to a point of where he is. Now, myself and I have never fought over a guy. Why? Because I don't have to. Now, when it comes to my husband, that's a different subject. And speak of the devil, and they send you messages. At any rate, I've never fought over a man before. But when it comes to my husband, I would beat a chick down, okay, over mine. Because I worked too hard. I've gone through too much with this man to let someone else just come and step in. Okay? Okay. My thing is, right now, we have gotten our credibility so shot that now people are coming in and shooting our children. And every other day you hear of another person being murdered. Do you see now why togetherness is the best key, the best thing that we could possibly have for us all today? Do you see that now? Do you see why not looking after your brother, not being your brother's keeper, causes issues? Do you see why not approaching a person and telling them what thus says the Lord causes? Do you see that? So now you have a monster, and it is humongous. Who's going to be able to handle it? Who else but God? Who else but God? He has power beyond what eyes can see. But how is his power going to be able to calm this monster down when his children are continuously eliminating him from the whole situation? You're out trying to handle it yourself. You're looting, you're rioting, you're things of that such. What we should have been doing when, say, Hadia, the girl from school who was an honor student in the band and all that kind of stuff, was gunned down. And it wasn't by a police officer, baby. It was by another human being, another person, another black person who just decided to fire off a few rounds. What happened to the child who was coming, and Lord, I can't remember his name, that's sad, but he was coming home from school and saw a fight and tried to break it up and got killed? Another black person did that. Okay? You know, these are the things that should have been teaching us that if we don't get it together, there is not going to be any help for anybody. You can't sit out on your porch in certain parts of town without worrying about dodging bullets. And there's nothing funny about it. But you can't sit on your own porch. That you're in a house or an apartment or whatever the world you're living in. You're paying the mortgage, the rent, the whatever on this place to live, and you can't sit out on the porch on the furniture from Walmart that you paid for. I wasn't meaning to make that funny, but it's just funny to me how we've had our warnings. We've had our signs. We've had all of these things that this was getting ready to come to pass, and guess what? Nobody took heed to any of it. And now that it is here, everybody wants to run them up, blame everybody else other than themselves. You should be mad at yourself that you didn't do better by what was getting ready to come at you. You was getting all the little small signs every other year or every other few months. And now it's every other day. Somebody's child is now having to be buried because somebody didn't do their job when they were supposed to. Tell the truth Tuesday is what I'm doing. Okay? I eliminated myself from this whole equation because when I started Tell the Truth Tuesday, it was basically so that I can get out of my head what I've been going through all my life. The fact that I didn't have a life growing up. You know? And the fact that now that I have a life, you know, that I can live, I don't know what to do with it. But anyway, that's besides the point. Because right now, I'm not about myself. I'm about the fact that I'm very angry that people have not decided to do what was supposed to be done. You got these so-called preachers out here who are out spatting God's name, knowing good and well that they are throwing rocks high in their hands. And to you who is a preacher that is doing that, you know it's you that I'm speaking of. You may not like the fact that people don't approve of you, because I myself don't approve of it. You're out here supposed to be a man of God. There's not ever supposed to be a foul language come out of your mouth. There's not ever supposed to be a foul description of a person come out of your mouth, because you know good and well better than that kind of stuff. If you lead God's people to the way they're supposed to be led to, that type of stuff is not supposed to come out your mouth. Ever. You're not supposed to have an evil word about a person to say. Why? Because the man of God knows better than that. And like I said, once again, to those of you who call yourself a preacher, call yourself a preacher. And that is something that you know you've done or is still doing right now. Shame on you. And I don't care if you get mad myself. I really could care less about you getting mad. Because maybe if you have enough people talking to you about your wrong, maybe you'll get it right. Perhaps, maybe that will help you. But people kill me with this wanting to get mad because this person said this about me. She knows she was lying. He know he was lying. It ain't nothing true about it if you get mad. But obviously to me, my mother has said some things to me before. When a person getting mad about something that is said to them or about them, you feel me, that is not true, you don't get mad. Because why? You know you didn't do it. You know that wasn't you. But you finding yourself getting mad and upset. I said it, sure did. Upset. But upset about what somebody has said about you, because it's not you that you tell it. And those crazy people who are listening to you tell lies when they don't even know the full story. But I'm gonna believe him because he's a preacher, he's a God, man of God, and shame on you for talking bad about him. Boo to you, boo boo. And your point, that person is just as wrong, and you are too, for trying to listen to the lies that they are telling you. At any rate, we're going to go back to this whole little world type thing that we got going on. Because it seems to be a widespread issue that nobody seems to know how to handle. Well, that is because you were never supposed to be trying to. That is because it was only God who was supposed to handle our worldly, our whatever need that we have. He is the only one who was supposed to be doing it. And now we have somehow put the job on our hands and then lying to other people talking about we're not. I believe the Lord. I love the Lord. He heard my cry and pitied every groan. Yeah. No, baby girl, baby boy. You are taking your condition, your issue off on yourself, and so he has nothing for you to do. He cannot help you. Why? Because you have put it up in your hands. And now you see the job that indeed he has. It's a hard job. We cannot handle it. That is why we should have left it alone. We should have left it where it was. You can't handle the truth that God knows for you. He knows all the things that we have that could kill us, that could maim us, cause us to have nervous breakdowns. He knows all of that. And now we have gone and lost our minds and have fooled ourselves into believing that somehow we can handle this whole little issue that's going on around America. Well, baby, you cannot do it. Sit it down and put it back where it's supposed to be, and that it's in the hands of the man who controls every last taste of the water. Now, I have held up your time on my Tell the Truth Tuesday, and this is my little new sign. I put it together this evening. I'm gonna finish it in a few, but we ain't worry about that right now. I'm going to finish it, but anyway, next Tuesday, or the Tuesday after, probably, when I remember to, I'm going to be doing another video, and perhaps maybe sometime in this whole series of doing this, you guys might be able to want to do some Tell the Truth Tuesday videos yourself. If the truth needs to be told, let it be told out of your mouth into the ears of the man and the woman who is going to be watching it. And I would like to end this on a good little positive note. You know, this is a song called Alright by Zacardi, Cortez, and Isaac Curry.
There's no wind to the rain, still no sunshine, the rainbow never came, but God made you a promise. He can't lie if he said it, he gotta do it. So no matter how you feel right now, let the word give you power. All you gotta know it will be. Oh Lord, ooh, it's gonna be alright. I know it's gonna be alright, yeah.